Yo, YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to the Comic John YouTube channel. I, of course, am your host, John Hassinger. For this series review, Tales of the Jedi from Disney+, this series primarily rotates around Ahsoka and Count Dooku. Two completely separate arcs for both of them. The first episode, I didn't really know what we were getting with this show. A lot of the marketing was Ahsoka as a baby. And that's the first episode, is the birth of Ahsoka Tano. And, you know, she's born, and they jump a little 6 months to a year down the road, maybe a little longer. And her and her mom get attacked by this giant tiger thing. Before the tiger runs away, it grabs Ahsoka. Runs away with her, puts her down like in her little cave, and is like licking her wounds. And it's looking at Ahsoka, and it's getting really hungry. And it starts walking towards her, and it's about to take a bite, and Ahsoka just touches its nose. And, you know, kind of uses the Force like, hey, you know, I'm not an enemy. Please don't eat me. And can you please take me back to my house? And the tiger, and it's really cool. At the end of the episode, they hear the tiger growling from the village. And it comes walking in, and Ahsoka's sitting on her back, and her mother's like, and she jumps into her mom's arms, and her mom's like, how? And the grandmother's like, Jedi, Ahsoka, Jedi. So that was pretty cool. Then it kicks up a notch, and we are pre-Phantom Menace with Qui-Gon and Count Dooku. Dooku the Master, Qui-Gon the Apprentice, and they go on some mission to rescue some kid whose senator dad, you know, was not treating the people of the village fairly. But the kid actually kind of sided with the people, and Dooku and Qui-Gon are there to save him. And the dad shows up, and the dad's being a dick, and Dooku starts choking the dad out when the dad raises guns. And Qui-Gon goes and frees the kid. He's like, go save your dad. Kid runs out, jumps on his dad. Dooku stops. Next episode is a little more into Dooku's downward spiral. It's him and Mace Windu. And again, Mace Windu has to tell Dooku, like, stop, knock it off, like, back off, lower your weapon. Then episode 4, which I'm pretty sure was my favorite episode. It was so many things happened. They reveal so many things from the prequels, like behind the scenes. So it's actually during Phantom Menace. The episode starts with Dooku deleting Kamino off the records, place where Obi-Wan goes in Phantom Menace. You know, find this place Kamino, and they're like, doesn't exist. They show Dooku deleting it. And then he walks around a corner, and Yaddle and Qui-Gon are there, and everybody's all nervous because word is Qui-Gon encountered a Sith. Qui-Gon encountered a Sith. So Dooku, you know, who's already super suspicious of everything and, you know, for some reason just deleted a planet from their archives, is like, Qui-Gon, you know, I heard you ran into a Sith. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, how did the council take it? And he's like, yeah, you know. And he's like, I've been warning them. Something is coming. Something is coming. And then the episode, you know, it does the opening credits. And then it comes back, and Dooku is at this tree mourning Qui-Gon. He's dead. Qui-Gon died because, remember, obviously the Sith that he ran into, Darth Maul, he runs into again, and Darth Maul kills him. Yaddle again appears. And the funeral is, you know, on Naboo. And he's like, I'm not going. She's like, why wouldn't you go? And he's like, look, he's become one with the Force. It's time to let him go. And she's like, can you? And he's like, I have no other choice. And she's like, what is wrong with you, man? Like, I know you're sad Qui-Gon's dead, but there's something else. He gets in a ship, he flies away, Yaddle follows him to the Emperor. And Dooku's like, yo, this wasn't supposed to happen. Qui-Gon wasn't supposed to get murdered. And the Emperor's, I lost an apprentice and so did you. It's, you know, a part of our greater goal. Dooku's like, oh my gosh, Kamino, the clones, Qui-Gon, like this is too much. And Yaddle pops out, confronts them. They duel, they fight back and forth. They get to this opening, Yaddle's standing on this part of it. It's huge. At one point, Dooku makes the door drop right on her. And Dooku's like, what have you made? And the Emperor's, well done, And Dooku's, he's like broken. It's so interesting, and I'm so happy that Filoni did this, because I always thought from the prequels, Dooku was so interesting. And then Yaddle all of a sudden lifts the door, and she was holding it the whole time. She caught it with the Force, and she's lifting it, and she's lifting it, and she lifts it, and then she drops, and she falls, and she's so weak. Like, it took all of her energy. And Dooku, looks down at her and chops her head off. Episode 5 was kind of weird, and I'm kind of upset that I don't know what it was. It's Anakin training Ahsoka over and over for the same thing. Just over and over and over and over, and she keeps failing, he keeps making her do it again. And then, she finally starts getting it, and then they open a door, and I know it's a moment from the Clone Wars, but I'm just really foggy on when it is. But it was like all this stuff that happened before some big kind of twist in the Clone Wars. I can't remember. Anybody that's watching, I'm sure you know, so let me know, please. And finally, episode 6, Resolve. It was so cool. Ahsoka's bailing, and she goes and she lives with some, in some village, and ends up saving a girl from a whole bunch of things falling on her. She moves them with the Force, and the girl notices. The girl's brother catches her and Ahsoka talking about it, the fact that she, is a Jedi, and her brother is an Imperial mark, and he tattles. So an Inquisitor shows up, is it true, Ahsoka Tano? I thought you died. And he comes up, and he's got the saber that's got the 2 blades, and zin, 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 and he comes, and she moves, she takes his saber, turns it off, takes it from him, turns it back on, and chops his head off. 2 decapitations in this series. Thank you, Dave Filoni. If you guys have not watched Tales of the Jedi, then I'm not sure why you watched this first. But if you have watched it, let me know. If you haven't, go watch it. It's great. They're about 10 to 15 minute episodes. There's 6 of them. And all it does is just deepen the lore and characters that we already know. And it just tells us and gives us more. And actually gives us answers. Like the fact that Dooku not only is the one who deleted Kamino, he also murdered Yaddle. Crazy. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next week. I gotta go.